Okay, so I've done this repeatedly. This caliper has been replaced for this problem, and as you can see, it's dragging. And if I loosen off the bleeder screw, it releases. So now I'm going to heat up this brake hose and loosen off the fitting going out of the brake hose in case it's the brake hose. Now, normally these brake hoses will collapse if they have a metal guard around them or a clamp or a fixture, but this one doesn't have anything. But we have to eliminate this as a possibility. So I'm going to have to heat this fitting up. I'm going to try it. Oh no. Okay, so I loosened the fitting off. No brake fluid came out, and it didn't release. Can't believe that loosened that easily. So now I'm going to repeat the same thing by loosening off the bleeder screw. See, brake fluid came out. Now look, it turns nice and smooth. So that got to be that brake hose. But I've never seen a brake hose collapse internally. Huh, isn't that special? Well, at least the line came loose. I'm going to repeat this again. I'm going to apply the brake a couple of times so that it's dragging again, and repeat this test. So I applied the brake a couple times and I can hardly turn it. Let's loosen off this line. No brake fluid came out. Well, a little tiny bit came out. No. Release the bleeder. Well, that's got to be that brake hose. I'm going to get one. So there's a brake hose replaced. I'm not overly confident it's going to fix it because I can blow through the brake hose in both directions freely. Like I said, normally when the brake hose has a bracket on it or something, the rust can build up under the bracket. So I'm gravity bleeding it right now. Just got the bleeder screw loose, and hopefully it'll bleed out gravity wise. Otherwise I'll have to pedal bleed it. Oh, and I did check the banjo bolt for restriction as well. It looks perfectly free. You can blow through it in both directions. So I've applied bled the brakes, and I've applied the pedal, released it, and you can see that the brake is still dragging. I'm going to loosen off the bleeder screw. Yet when I loosened off the brake hose at the upper fitting, it didn't release. And I actually had brake fluid coming out. So I'm going to try applying the brake again and repeating that. What the heck? How come? That's weird. All I did was tighten the brake bleeder screw up, and the brake is locked on again. It's like the caliper is pulled out of shape by the bleeder screw threads or something. Look, you can see the screwdriver bending. Look at that. What the hell? No brake fluid came out now, and it turns free. I've never had a caliper do that. It's like the caliper is being forced out by the bleeder screw or something. Tighten it back up. We'll figure that one out. Well, you can see how I called the brake hose, because when I loosened it up here, brake fluid came out, but it did not release. But it's a mechanical issue in the caliper. I wonder where this caliper came from. This caliper was replaced. Now, I'm not sure if it was replaced for this problem, but it's definitely, I never tried returning the brake rotor after tightening the bleeder screw up like I just did. You can see it turns free. Now I'm going to tighten the bleeder screw. And I'm not over torquing it. Look at that. Explain that one, Mr. YouTube. So there's a replacement adaptive 1 caliper assembly. And I think what's going on with this thing, I think the bleeder screw where it goes into this caliper, if you look at it, it's at the back of the piston bore. And I think it might be cracked internally. That's why when you tighten the caliper bleeder screw down, it pushes the piston out. Because that's the only explanation I have for it. We're going to change the caliper and see if that fixes it. So there's the caliper on and bled. And after several brake applications, you can see it's loose now. So that caliper was defective. I think from over torquing the bleeder screw, it might have cracked the bore and been pushing in on the piston. Let's put this thing back together. So I've got the brake caliper set up in the vise here with a dial indicator against the caliper piston. Watch the dial indicator when I tighten the bleeder screw. 1 thou. 4 thou. I'll loosen it off. So that caliper is cracked internally, and the bleeder screw is pushing the caliper piston in. 5/1000 of an inch. Never seen anything like that in my life.